on the reform plans that came out of this session. Victor Gao, a current affairs commentator. Victor, so much to digest here. What are some of the headlines that you see?
Well, I think this announcement of 60 major initiatives that China will implement in the years to come marks a significant watershed moment in China's economic and political reform. I think after we have put all these 60 points to practice, China will become a better nation, more transparent, more globalized, and people will have greater rights, and the relations between the government and the market on the one hand, and the government and the people will be significantly reshaped. And I think this is very important, not only for continued economic reform in China to produce greater productivity in this country, but also to make sure that people are the beneficiary of the results of the reform, both political as well as economic, and people are the real participants in all these activities in China. Therefore, we are expecting to see that the government will have a much reduced role and will refrain from active intervention in the economic activities, and the market itself will play the decisive role, and people will have greater right to participate in the political activities.
Victor, you just heard Teresa's report. She talked about human rights, courts, lawyers, changes in the re-education through labor system. Some of these may come as a surprise as well. Did they surprise you?
No, I don't think so. I think a few days ago, at the completion of the third plenum, the communique which was announced at that time was a very broad and very much as announcement of principles and guidelines. People were surprised at that time that the wording was a little bit vague or very philosophical and political economical. However, the 60 points announced yesterday are very detailed. They are very much like flesh put onto the skeleton of bones. And I would expect that in the coming weeks and months, and even a few years to come, more specifics will put into this, because each of the 60 points will take a lot of efforts to implement. And I think it requires really the efforts of the government, or the people, or the corporates, or the society, and of the individuals to all pitch in. And I think it will be in this very comprehensive and overall and overarching architectural as well as structural changes that will bring about the substantive transformation of China in the coming years. I think many of these things are very, very required, and some of these are long overdue, and I think people will be encouraged that China is moving in the right direction, and we are reinvigorating ourselves and recommitting ourselves to a better China with greater future.
Victor Gao, live with us from Beijing. Thanks so much.